Guys, Forsith of Project Dedux here, and today we're going to talk about Star Wars Rebels and their part in Rogue One and the battle on and above Scarif. Since my last Star Wars theory video turned out to be correct, I have some pretty high hopes for this one. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright guys, I'm going to get right to the point here. In Rogue One, most people already know Chopper was spotted, but I discovered something others may not have. After the Council denies Jyn's request to go to Scarif, as she's returning to Cassian right before they go on their own mission to Scarif, the intercom then says, "General Syndulla, please report to the Commons Room." While I'm not sure if, I can't recall if it said meeting or Commons Room, the excitement is still the same. This means that the Phoenix Squadron, or at least Hera and Chopper, were alive during the events of Rogue One. However, because in the latest episodes of Star Wars Rebels Saw Gerrera is depicted as alive, and this scene in Rogue One was taken after Saw's death on Jedha, this means the events of Rogue One have not happened yet in Star Wars Rebels, which is kind of obvious. I mean, we haven't heard of any Death Star stuff yet, except the reference in the latest episode, which means a lot is going to have to happen between now and the end of the Star Wars Rebels series. I believe that because at the time of Rogue One, Luke has not yet been Kenobi, as those events take place after Darth Vader attacks Leia's ship, which happens mere days after the end of Rogue One, also means that Luke has not yet met Yoda, who has not yet told him that he will be the last remaining Jedi after Yoda passes. This means that Kanan and Ezra will have to die during or very soon after the events of Rogue One. I believe this means that Star Wars Rebel will conclude, or at least Season 3 will conclude, with the Ghost crew participating in the battle for the Death Star plans, which may have already been confirmed with the sighting of a phantomless ghost in Rogue One, and possibly dying. However, a confusing variable that somewhat obstructs this theory is the fact that Rogue One takes place 19 years after Revenge of the Sith, while the very first episode of Star Wars Rebels takes place 14 years after. At the very most, Star Wars Rebels Season 3 takes place 16 years after Revenge of the Sith, making the timings of the two conflict. Obviously, this brings an entirely new view of Rogue One and Star Wars Rebels. While it's possible Star Wars Rebels will conclude with them simply finding out that the Empire is building a weapon and not a battle, and then some kind of spin-off series, or maybe some kind of hinting at the end of it will conclude Star Wars Rebels. We don't know that yet. And I'll probably discuss that in another video. If you enjoyed this theory and you agree with what I think, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And to stay updated on future theories and videos, be sure to subscribe.